Alright y'all, we got garlic butter and white wine seafood pasta. I hope y'all like this one. Alright, you want to pour in some of that olive oil, put in some onions, some shallots, some salt. Then you want that garlic, put in the seasoning and mix it all up. Pour a little more if it's needed. Put in the cherry tomato, move it around some. Put the white wine, sprinkle some more salt. When that's all done, you want to put in that shrimp. Then go ahead and add the mussels. Put in some parsley to add that butter. Cover all that up for 3 to 4 minutes. Take out the shrimp and mussels and set to the side. Now you could go ahead and add that pasta. Pour in some of that pasta water next. Mix and coat evenly. Alright, we're pretty much done. All you gotta do now is add the cheese, lemon juice, mix all of that up. We all done. Plate it, throw on some parsley, parmesan, crushed red pepper, and here it is. Enjoy.
Let's make Tosti Locos, a popular and fun Mexican street snack. It's so good. Jicama, mango, lime, cucumber, Mexican candy, churros, Japanese peanut. You can get this bag that has all of them. Cueritos, but I don't like these. Tostitos salsa verde chips. Cut the side of the bag open. Then add all your toppings. You can add whatever you want. There are no rules to Tosti Locos. There are so many kinds. Dora Locos, Cheetah Locos, Tequilicos, Tosta Nachos, etc. Top with chamoy, Valentina, Tajin, and lime.
We're gonna make carnitas the traditional way in manteca, aka lard, and thank you to InSinkErator for sponsoring this video. Using their garbage disposal makes cleanup in the kitchen faster and easier since almost all my scraps can just be thrown in the sink. We're gonna start by dry brining pork shoulder chunks with kosher salt in the fridge for at least 1 hour. On medium heat, melt enough lard to cover most of the pork, but it doesn't have to be fully submerged. Move it around periodically, making sure it doesn't burn on the bottom, and after 20 minutes, flip them over and cook for another 20 minutes. You don't need to move it around too much, just make sure the bottom isn't burning. Next, add onion, garlic, cumin, Mexican oregano, pepper, orange juice, and the peels. I throw some of the citrus peels into my InSinkErator garbage disposal, which leaves my kitchen smelling fresh. I've had mine for about a year and I love it. Grinding the scraps means I don't have bad odors and bacteria in the kitchen, and it's more sustainable than scraps ending up in a landfill. Next, add water, evaporated milk, bay leaves, and cloves. Cook over medium-low heat for an hour and a half, then add some Mexican Coca-Cola and cook for another 20 minutes. When it's done, the carnitas should be super tender on the inside, crispy on the outside, and have a dark and shiny color. Remove it from the pot and let it cool before shredding it. It should be really easy to do with your hands, and that's it. I'll be using these carnitas to make my all-time favorite Mexican street food in my next video.
Alright y'all, someone requested this one right here. Tacos al pastor. Hope you like it. Start by pounding out that pork, smash the garlic, cut up some onions, cut up some chilies. Throw all that in a pan and fry it all up. Sprinkle some of this, mix it around and pour some of that. Lift up the lid and it's gotta look like this. Put all that in a blender. Get your spices and put it in. Pour some pineapple juice and blend it all up. After that, layer some sauce, then the meat, then the sauce, then the meat. Mix it all up good and put it in the fridge. After all that, get yourself some pineapple, cut it all up. Put that on a pan and you're gonna need 2 sticks. Next, layer all that pork up on top of the pineapple. Get that pork extra saucy. Grill some of these up and you done. Start chopping it down. Damn, if you about to tell me that shit don't look good, you tripping, boy. Alright y'all, video number 2. We got shrimp tacos. If y'all ready, let's go. Alright, y'all want to cut the cabbage, cut some tomatoes, cut some red onions, cilantro, lime juice all over that, and mix it all up. You gonna need all these right here and mix it up with the shrimp. Alright, start cooking the shrimp on medium-high heat. Add these 2 sauces and add some red crushed pepper. Right here, we about to flambe, but don't burn yourself if you do this. Get some garlic, some lime juice, and reduce the heat. And that's it for the shrimp. Tell me that shit don't look good. Alright, all you gotta do now is start building your taco. Do not sleep on this one. It's bomb, believe me. I hope y'all enjoying the series so far. We got a lot of bomb tacos coming up, so stay posted. Alright y'all, we making Cuban mojo chicken and congri. Y'all gonna love this dish, believe me. Start off with some oranges, some lime zest, garlic, cilantro, and followed by all the spices on the list and some olive oil. Blend that shit up. Throw in some green onions. Pour all that shit over the chicken and let it sit in the fridge. Cut up some onions next and some bacon after that. Next up, get the black beans started. In a separate pot, get the bacon in. Then get your onions you had ready, throw that in. And get to cooking both. Mix it around and saute it up. Get your rice in and start cooking that with the bacon and onions. Throw in the black beans and add some chicken stock. Cover that up, put the heat on low and let it just do its thing. Throw some oranges on that chicken and throw that in the oven. Out the oven, it's gonna look like this. Make your plate and trust me, it's gonna be so fucking good. Alright y'all, today we starting off the taco series with a bang. Bomb ass carnitas tacos. Y'all ready? Get your pork shoulder and sprinkle some salt and pepper. Get this mix right here and put it all over the pork. Rub it in like you see here. Into the pressure cooker it goes with some onions, jalapenos, garlic, some juice, orange peels. Then set it for an hour and 15 minutes. Release the top and look at that. You can take it out now. Let it cool down and strain the juice. Shred all the pork up. Heat the skillet and throw it in by batches. Add some of that pork juice and let it evaporate. Now you want to add some of that Mexican Coca-Cola. Not that corn syrup bullshit, it's gotta be that pure sugar cane. All this flipping it so you can get some parts crispy and keep some parts juicy. Now just do that to the rest of the pork. And that's all, folks. My stomach made noises throughout this whole recording. If you ain't feeling tacos, you can make torta, you can do carnitas plate, you can do a burrito, whatever's clever's.
Okay, so every Mexican family has their own way of making Mexican rice. This is how my abuela taught me, and it's honestly foolproof. First, you need to saute some onions and garlic in oil until fragrant, then take out the garlic and set it aside. Mahatma's extra long white rice is the best for this recipe. It has less starch and cooks to a fluffy texture that is more on the dry side, which is what we want. Toast the rice in the oil, mixing constantly until it starts to brown, then add chicken bouillon and garlic powder and continue toasting for another minute. My abuela normally uses canned tomato sauce, but I'm using fresh tomatoes and blending it with the garlic. Add it to the rice, stirring constantly until it changes to a warmer red color. Then add hot water. If the sides don't bubble up, your water isn't hot enough. Add a pinch of salt, mix, then add cilantro and jalapeno on top. Reduce the heat to the lowest setting, then cover for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, turn off the heat. There will be a thin layer of tomato sauce at the top. That's a good thing. Just fluff the rice with a fork to mix it together. This is good for me, but if you prefer a fluffier, super soft rice, just cover for another 10 minutes without any heat. And trust me, this is the only recipe you'll ever need. Last year, I made these jalapeno chicken rolls, and you guys absolutely loved them, so here it is again, just in time for your Super Bowl party. My favorite way to make chicken breasts is with Lowry seasoning salt, pepper, some sour cream, sear it off in a little bit of oil, flip over, then baste it in butter, and then cover on low heat and cook for about 12 minutes or until cooked through. Don't throw out the pan juices because these carry a ton of flavor, and just check out how juicy and tender this chicken breast turned out. Cool completely to shred, then add jalapenos, pepper jack, and cream cheese and mix until fully combined. Then wrap them in some egg roll or spring roll wrappers, seal with water, and you should end up with about 10 pieces. Then shallow fry or air fry at 350 degrees for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. If you're going to air fry them, just make sure you brush them with a little oil first. Rest them on a cooling rack when done, and you can cut them or leave them whole. Then blend together jalapenos, cilantro, honey, lime juice, salt, and cumin. This is going to be our jalapeno dipping sauce. Fold in some sour cream by hand last, do not blend it, and then serve it with the jalapeno chicken rolls. Churros are my favorite dessert. I'm very particular about them, and the best churros are eggless, making them soft on the inside and super crispy on the outside. Begin by mixing together water, sugar, and oil, then bring that to a boil. Cool for 1 minute, then add vanilla extract, then add flour and mix for no more than 20 seconds. Let it cool for 3 to 4 minutes before putting it into a heavy-duty piping bag with a 1M star tip. Do not use single-use piping bags or a larger star tip. Using a thermometer, bring some oil to about 365 degrees Fahrenheit and pipe 4 to 5 pieces into the oil. Use scissors to cut them and separate them if they get stuck to each other. When they are golden brown after 3 to 4 minutes, remove from the oil and rest on a cooling rack for 1 minute before rolling in sugar and cinnamon so that it doesn't get clumpy. Repeat in batches until the dough is gone. I make my chocolate sauce with a Korean twist using heavy cream, a pinch of salt, and Korean instant coffee mix. Mix together until fully dissolved and bring it to a simmer, then turn off the heat and add some dark chocolate. Mix until smooth and serve right away.
Alright y'all, taco day number 7. We got birria tacos. Y'all ready? Cause this one gonna get crazy. De-seed and boil all these 30 minutes. Sprinkle a little seasoning and let it rest. Sear both sides and remove from the pot. Pour in some of that vinegar and throw these in right here. Use the onion to scrape the brown bits. Now you can throw the beef back in, cover with water and bring to a boil. Throw these in the bag and drop it in the pot. Skim off all that bubble on top. Transfer the chili in chili water. Put all the veggies from earlier in the stuff in the bag. Throw on some of these spices, vinegar, and blend all that. Now you want to strain that mix and throw away the rest. Sprinkle some salt, and this part is optional. 2.5 hours later, take out the beef and shred it all up. Tortilla gotta be dipped in the broth. Add the cheese, the beef, fold it and press down. Flip it and you're gonna see the edges of the cheese get crispy. Throw on some cilantro, onions, and this thing is all done. Y'all in for a big ass treat. This one's on a whole nother level, yes sir. Alright y'all, video number 5, we got carbi flautas with kimchi salsa. This thing just hit different. Soak them short ribs for 1 hour. Get these ingredients in the blender, followed by soy sauce, brown sugar, and shiitake dashi. Blend that shit up, pour it over the ribs, and get that shit in the pressure cooker 35 minutes. Roast all these, and then you want to boil them except the onion. Throw all them ingredients into the blender, followed by cilantro, salt, and chili water. Blend that shit up, add the kimchi, and blend that shit up again. By now, your ribs should be tender as fuck. Tear that shit up and add some broth in. All you need now is that cheese and roll them up. You can start frying these shits. Make sure you get them nice and crispy. Lay the flautas down on a bed of salsa. Add that lettuce and cabbage on top, sour cream, lime juice, and cotija cheese. You could always add the salsa on the side so the flautas stay crispy.
Hola, my name is Dora, and I create vegan Mexican recipes inspired by my life and family in Mexico, like this delicious pozole and vegan tres leches cake. I veganize a lot of my family recipes, but I also search for inspiration at the UTSA library, which has the largest collection of Mexican cookbooks in all of North America. Follow me and I will teach you everything you need to know about making Mexican food vegan.
Cook some Mexican food with me. Pork.
Alright, we're back and today we are making the best tacos ever. We're gonna start off with homemade salsa. You're gonna need tomatoes, onions, serrano peppers, garlic, and dried chili peppers. So you're gonna wanna roast them for about 5 minutes, then throw them all into a blender and blend it all up until it looks kinda like death. Sheesh. Now we move on to the sweet, juicy meat. You're gonna wanna cut up cilantro and onion, drizzle some oil onto the meat, season it up, and then you're gonna wanna massage that meat nice and fine. Throw that onto a skillet. I'd say you wanna let it cook 5 minutes on each side. That's just for me because I like my meat kind of medium rare. So we're gonna take it all out and then that's what it should look like. Go ahead and cut it up into bite-sized pieces so they can fit in your mouth. While we're doing that, you're gonna throw up some tortillas onto the stove, warm them bad boys up until they look golden. We're gonna give hefty portions of meat because this is not Chipotle. Splash each taco with some of that homemade salsa and limon because that is mandatory. Throw on some onions and cilantro and there you have it, the best tacos ever.
I freaking love frijoles, and if you are Hispanic, then you know that this is an absolute staple in our cuisine. To make it, rinse some pinto beans overnight, then drain them. This is epazote. If you don't have this, you can use Mexican oregano. Then just add onion, garlic, salt, and cumin, and then enough water to cover it by at least a couple inches. Bring it to a boil over medium heat uncovered, adding water as needed. After 1 to 2 hours, the beans should be easy to smash. Drain it and then reserve the liquid. I highly recommend using lard for this recipe, but you can use regular oil too. I'm sauteing some onions and lightly salting them until they've browned just a little, and then I added some chopped jalapenos, and then add the beans and start smashing with a potato masher. Keep smashing while adding the liquid back in increments until you get your desired consistency. I like mine smooth with little visible chunks like this. And then after that, you just want to top it with your favorite cheese. I like either cotija or Monterey Jack cheese.
That was so good. Oh my gosh, my asshole is pulsating just at the near sides of these chilies.
So weak, so weak, so weak.
Oaxaca cheese is like mozzarella, but it's butterier and it melts easier.
Sorry I can't say al pastor with the right accent, but I've been improving this recipe for a couple years and I promise you it is really good even though you probably think I'm a no sabo kid, but just leave me alone, okay? Start by lightly browning some garlic and onions in oil, then add chile guajillo and bay leaves. When the chiles are nicely toasted and fragrant, add some water and vinegar. I like apple cider vinegar for this. Cover on low heat for 10 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, thinly slice your pork shoulder and pound with a mallet to flatten and soften the fibers. Pour everything from the pan into a blender with chipotle and adobo sauce, achiote paste, spices, pineapple juice from a can, do not use fresh, and some chicken stock. Blend until smooth and pour through a fine mesh strainer. Keep pushing the marinade through until just the chunks are left over. You can make a salsa out of this or just throw it away. Then thoroughly mix in the pork and marinate in the fridge for 8 to 12 hours. I made a mini trompo using a thick slice of pineapple as the base and a thick skewer. Roast in the oven at 275 for 2.5 to 3 hours, basting with pan juices in the last 30 minutes. Let it rest for 10 minutes, then begin slicing and finish on the stove with some sliced onions and pineapple. There are only 2 recipes left for the Mexican street food series. What do you think they're gonna be? My all-time favorite Mexican street food is tortas ahogadas, which is unique to the city of Guadalajara, where my family's from. For the tomato salsa, boil tomatoes, garlic, onion, and bay leaf, then blend with black peppercorns, cumin, Mexican oregano, tomato bouillon, and some of the boiled water to loosen the sauce. Strain through a sieve, but don't throw out the solids because you can make another salsa with it. Then add some chicken stock and season with salt, and fry the tomato salsa in oil for a few minutes, then set it aside. To make the spicy salsa, boil a ton of chile de árbol, garlic, and onion until softened. Then blend with some of the boiled water, vinegar, and salt to taste. Strain through a sieve and set it aside. This salsa is very spicy. You will also need the following ingredients. I already posted my recipe for refried beans if you need it, as well as my recipe for carnitas. And the key to tortas ahogadas is the bread. It has to be a birote, which is a very unique sourdough bread that's crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. Spread a thin layer of the refried beans, then add the carnitas, then drown the torta in tomato sauce and add as much of the spicy salsa as you can handle. Serve with pickled red onions and some limes, and that's it.
Oof, I cannot wait to put you on these air-fried chicken and cheese taquitos. You'll need cooked chicken, cream cheese, garlic, shredded cheese, these listed spices written on the screen, and some Oaxaca cheese if you have. Now wrap some corn tortillas in a paper towel and microwave for about 1 minute until they're soft and pliable, then stuff with the chicken and roll them up tightly. Usually these are shallow fried, so you can do that, but I sprayed with some cooking spray and air fried till they were perfectly golden like so. Then top with Mexican sour cream, salsa verde, cotija cheese, cilantro, and that is all. Enjoy!
Teaching you how to make Mexican rice. Step 1. Wash the rice. Step 2. Fry it in some oil until brown. Add a can of tomato sauce. Mix, mix, mix. Add water. Mix, mix, mix. One cube of chicken bouillon. Salt and pepper to taste. Half an onion. Cover and lower heat. Ta-da!
¿Conocen las guasanas? Mi papá les va a enseñar cómo cocerlas aquí en el disco.
Ahora vamos a echarlas al disco sin agua.
Sal, así las hacemos en Chapala.
Papi, ¿por cuánto tiempo las va a cocinar?
Por 20 minutos.
So these are fresh garbanzos if you don't know what a guasana is, and you will just cook them for 20 minutes. And don't stop mixing, otherwise it will burn.
Después de 10 minutos se tapan para que suden.
Look at that, beautiful!
Vamos a hacer un cono.
Ay, qué fácil lo hace.
Es todo, aquí está listo.
Y ese es el mentado cono.
Sirvan en cono y ya está. ¡Listo! Si gustan, échenle chilito y si no, no.
This is how you open them. Look at that! And enjoy!
Alright, y'all, with Super Bowl coming up, we got jalapeno chicken rolls. This one gonna be a fan favorite, believe me. Alright, pound the chicken breast and make sure to season on both sides. Now you wanna cook that chicken. Throw some butter in, flip it, and baste it. Now you wanna cut up some jalapenos, put in some of that lime juice, cumin, honey. Blend all that up until smooth and add some sour cream and mix it all up. Get another jalapeno out and dice and de-seed this one. Go ahead and shred that chicken. Next up, you wanna add jack cheese and cream cheese. Then put in the jalapenos and mix it all up. All you gotta do now is throw that mix in an egg roll wrapper and start rolling it up. It's gonna look like this right here. When that's all ready, throw them in the fryer till golden brown and take it out. It's gonna be ready by now. Just look at this thing. You can garnish a little bit of cilantro on top. And this thing is all ready. Yes, sir.
Today we're making homemade birria queso tacos. I've been seeing a very Americanized version all over the internet, so today I'll be showing you guys how to make it the authentic way. You need about 6 chile guajillos, 3 chile de árbol, and about 5 ancho chiles. You want to add those to a big pot of water with 5 pounds of chuck roast. Everything that I have listed on the screen as well. You want to skim the top of your broth, we want it very clean. Add a hefty pinch of salt, cover and let it cook for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, you want to take out your chiles and add them to a blender. You also want to add in some of your onions, garlic, and cinnamon stick, as well as a little bit of our beef broth. You also want to add in everything that I have displayed on the screen. You want to blend until very smooth for about 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to add that to our beef broth. Also adding in 2 boiled tomatoes that I pureed. You want to let that cook for another 2 hours. Take your meat out of your broth and strain your liquid. You want to take your corn tortillas and dip them to your strained broth. Put them to a hot pan with some butter and you want them to get nice and crispy. Add your Oaxaca cheese, your shredded beef, some onions and cilantro. Dip them into your consomme with some onions and cilantro and you're done.
Alright, y'all already know what time it is. Today is taco day number 4. We got al pastor. Crush up some garlic, de-seed the chili and cut it up. Throw in the onions, garlic, chilies, bay leaves. Add water and apple cider vinegar and cover it up for 10 minutes, then let it cool down. Throw all that in the blender with these chilies, then add these spices and add the water and the ACV and blend it up. Strain all that, but make sure to save some for later. Now you want to get your pork, cover it up in sauce layer by layer. That thing gotta marinate for 24 hours, alright? Slice the first pineapple thick, cause that's gonna be the base for the trompo. Now just layer the pork and lock it in with a pineapple. Cook it for 2 hours at 350 and baste it occasionally. When it's all done cooking, it's gonna look like this right here. We grill some veggies on the side. Look how juicy that thing is. You can go ahead and cut it down. The grilled onions is optional, but if you like it, make sure to add it. Look how our tacos came out. I know y'all want to try this. Go ahead and make this shit. Alright y'all, taco day number 5. We got beer batter fish tacos. I hope you're ready for this one. Cut up some of them red onions. Then you want to add some cabbage, some cilantro, some sour cream, some of that lime juice, pinch of salt. Mix all that up and set aside. Add this right here, throw in the garlic, some of that mayo, lime juice. Blend all that up till smooth. Now go ahead and get your flour, some salt, some pepper, garlic powder. Mix all that up with some beer until it's all smooth. Go ahead and dip the fish in the batter, fry it up, golden brown, flip it, take it out. And look at this right here. Now it's time to get your tacos ready. Put some of that sauce on the bottom, put your fish in, throw some of that slaw on top. This thing is a wrap. Look how bomb this shit look.
Today I'm making some fried gorditas and this is gonna go fast, so try to keep up. For the filling, I'm making carne asada, so start by roasting some garlic cloves and grinding it with salt, then add some onions, cilantro, olive oil, orange and lime juice, vinegar, these spices, and mix well. I like skirt steak, but you can use flap or flank and marinate in the fridge for 2 to 4 hours. For the dough, you'll need maseca, all-purpose flour, baking powder, and salt. Mix well, then slowly add warm water until it forms a soft dough. Split that into 8 pieces, then make a pocket to stuff them with cheese, then seal to form a ball and flatten them out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Don't make them too thick or they won't puff up when you fry them. Cook the steak in a cast iron skillet with some jalapenos and sliced onions. Let it rest for 10 minutes before cutting into small pieces along with the onions and jalapenos. Now we're gonna fry the gorditas for about 1 minute on each side. They should puff up, creating a pocket in the middle. If they don't, then it's too thick. You can also cook these on the comal if you don't want to fry them. Carefully cut the gorditas open while they're still hot, then stuff them with whatever you want. This one was so good with some guacamole, queso fresco, lettuce, carne asada, crema, and salsa. One of my favorite Mexican comfort foods is pozole verde with chicken, and since the holidays are coming up, I'm gonna share how I make mine. Season 1 whole spatchcocked chicken with salt and pepper, then saute some onions in olive oil until they are translucent. Add garlic, oregano, cumin, and chicken powder and saute for a couple minutes, then remove it from the pot. Add a little more olive oil, then sear the chicken skin side down, flip it over, and add water plus 2 bay leaves. Bring it to a boil, remove any scum, then simmer for 45 minutes. Meanwhile, roast some tomatillos in these chiles for 25 minutes, then flip them over. Add some rinsed canned hominies to the other side and roast for another 20 minutes. Peel and de-seed the poblanos, then blend the tomatillos, chiles, spinach, cilantro, the sofrito we made earlier, and some water. Remove the chicken from the pot to cool, remove any scum, season to taste with Knorr chicken powder, then add the salsa and hominies and simmer for 20 minutes. Then shred the chicken and add it back into the pot. Let it heat through, then serve it with your favorite toppings. I like my pozole with lettuce instead of cabbage, but let me know how you like yours. Next on the Mexican street food series is the Sonoran hot dog. I had these for the first time in Tucson, Arizona, and they're really good. It wouldn't be a Sonoran hot dog without some cooked beans, so I'm making frijoles de la olla, but you can use canned beans if you want. I'm using jalapeno and cheddar hot dogs, but you can use whatever weenies you like, then wrap them tightly in some bacon and cook them over medium heat. Turn the dogs over, and when enough of the bacon oil starts to come out, add some sliced onions, jalapenos, and yellow chili peppers. Once the peppers start to blister, add a garlic clove, then remove the hot dogs once they are cooked through, followed by the jalapenos, garlic, and yellow chili peppers. Then saute the onions just a little bit longer with some mustard until they are nearly translucent. Next, we're going to make our jalapeno salsa by blending the jalapenos, yellow chili pepper, garlic, some of the onions, cilantro, salt, lime juice, and a little water. Sonoran hot dogs are known for using soft bolillos as the buns, but I couldn't find them, so I just steamed some brioche hot dog buns, added the bacon-wrapped weenies with the frijoles, mayonnaise, raw tomato and raw onions, grilled onions, mustard, jalapeno salsa, and some yellow chili peppers. Tostadas are a popular Mexican street food, and there are many different types of tostadas. Ceviche is my favorite because it's healthy, tasty, super refreshing, and easy to make. First, prepare your vegetables. I'm removing the seeds from a cucumber and tomatoes, then chopping everything into small pieces. Roughly chop some serrano peppers and cilantro, then de-seed and chop a jalapeno too. You need the juice of about 10 limes and 1 lemon, then add the cilantro, serrano peppers, salt, sugar, and a little of the juice into a blender. Blender pulse so there are still visible chunks of cilantro, then set it aside. Make sure you devein your shrimp, then cut into smaller pieces in a glass or plastic bowl only. Combine with red onions, cucumber, jalapeno, serrano, and cilantro mix and the rest of the lime juice. Mix well and fully submerge the shrimp, then let it marinate in the fridge for 15 to 20 minutes. You'll know the shrimp is ready when the outside turns pink and the center is white and opaque throughout. Tajin is my Tio's secret ingredient, but not traditional at all. You can add clamato instead if you want, and you want to add the tomatoes last because they prevent the lime from cooking the shrimp. If you're eating everything right away, you can mix in some avocado, otherwise add them last as a topping so it doesn't get mushy.